but I've been through every emotion from, anger, rage, disappointment, hurt, feeling that, you know, guilt, that I let my team lose their jobs. Um, but in the end, where I really land and where I've landed on today is just gratitude, um, just pure gratitude. And, and gratitude, not just because people would take the time to get on a call like this, or to take care of me, um, but also that my show had value, and that, I'm sorry, that that what I was doing had value. Had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV. And I think this is kind of like me on TV, so I apologize. And that it mattered. I see Karen is there, and she's been texting me as well. And so what I will just say is that in the end, thank you. Where I land is that the moment of guilt that I felt, that I went hard on so many issues, whether it was the Black Lives Matter issues of a young baby, or a mom or a dad that was killed, or when we opened up people's eyes to the fact that Asian Americans were being targeted, and not just Black folks, or went hard for immigrants who've done nothing but come to this country like my parents did and try to make a life and defended them. Or whether we've talked about what the president is doing that is subversive to the Constitution, that is injurious to our liberty, defending books that people find inconvenient, that Nicole Hannah-Jones put into our spirit, that we need to understand 1619 as the real founding of this country, whether it's talking about any of these issues, and yes, whether it's talking about Gaza and the fact that we as the American people have a right to object, to little babies being bombed. And where I come down on that is, I'm not sorry. I am not sorry that I stood up for those things, because those things are of God. And I'm a church girl too, and those are the things that I was taught were of God. And so I'm not sorry. I'm just proud of my show. I'm proud of my little team. The little team that could, I told them today, they were the Avengers. They were this little diverse team who we constructed deliberately to represent every type of person in this country, every religion, every faith, every race, every region, every sensibility, every sexual orientation. We said we were intentional. I was very intentional in building my team, inspired by the great Melissa Harris Perry, my dear sister, Melissa Harris Perry, from whom I inherited television, okay, who gave me, with her grace, the opportunity to host in her sacred hour on the weekends, and let me open the door to a Tiffany Cross. Let me open the door to Black people who were not typically on TV. To a Tracy, who started as my producer and then got nominated for an Oscar because she's so brilliant. Let me open the doors to Black people to talk about economics and science, and not just Black pain. I am not sorry. And I am so proud of what we did, and so grateful that God gave me nearly 5 years to do it. And in total, nearly 10 years to do television my way, on my terms. And so it's been a very strange Black History Month. I won an NAACP Image Award, as did Ms. Joteka, for this show. And I'm proud that it was specifically for our interview with Brittany Griner, who so many of the people on this call fought for her, believed in the cause of her freedom. Y'all fought for that. I just channeled it on television, and the NAACP Image Awards saw fit to award us for it. So I just want to thank all of you. I'm so deep in gratitude. I'm so deep in joy. Even though I'm crying, I'm actually just so deep in joy and gratefulness that there's nothing that can hurt me now. And I'm going to go forward and promise to all of you that the service I feel God put me on this earth to provide, other than telling Miss Murley's story, the service I feel And I see Rashad here. I just see Rashad's name pop up, who I love. The service I was put here is to try to tell the truth, to try to find the truth, and to try to explain the inexplicable and to try to make it make sense. And that's what I've always told my team. Our job is not to be the news. Our job is to help people to understand what's happening, is to understand the horrors that are happening and to understand the joy. You know, we had a moment of joy, to understand that sometimes there's pain, but there's also joy. So I promise I'm going to keep doing that. I have set myself up because I've been very realistic and setting myself up always for the future. I'm always planning for the future. And so there is a future for my voice. And if you all are so kind to support it, I will just be I will be even more grateful if that is even possible than I am right now.